Hello, and welcome back to the Trust Your Worth podcast. The podcast that talks about tapping into the power of knowing your worth. And today I have a very, very special guest. My bestie, Zion.
Hello.
Thank you so much for being here today.
Hi, thank you for having me. This is amazing.
I'm so excited because you got a lifetime of knowledge, and we're here to spread that wisdom, you know.
Yes, totally.
To the peeps, and
Totally.
I'm so grateful you're here with me today.
Thank you for the invite. I'm excited to get into it.
Yes. Okay, so today, if you read the title, it is Trusting Your Worth After Emotional Abuse. So, first question. What are some experiences you've had that made you doubt your self-worth?
Yeah, I've had a lot, but there are some specific ones that come to mind. I've been in some pretty unhealthy relationships in my life, just because of trauma and just the belief that I didn't deserve any more than what I was choosing. And so I do think of one relationship I had where there was a lot of gaslighting and a lot of lying, and something always felt off in my gut, but you know, they would tell me not to worry, and so I would just brush it off. But there were multiple experiences of this specific scenario where something would really bug me, or I'd feel off put, and I'd bring it up, and they would just tell me it was in my head, or that I was the problem, or I was asking for too much, or I was too needy. And so that's a big one where that isn't normal. And that really felt, looking back, really felt emotionally abusive because my feelings were being dismissed. I was being gaslit, and along with other things, it just felt really unhealthy. I just had a hard time identifying that at the time. So this relationship that we're talking about, because I do have a lot from multiple people that are just popping in my head, but this one...
we can hear it all.
Okay, yeah. But this one specifically stands out, where I was talking to this guy, and we weren't dating, but we were, like, dating, you know, like, exclusive, just hadn't put a label on it.
Situationship.
I hate those. Don't do it. And just randomly, and I think at this point, like, when we were talking, I was starting to recognize just like how great I was, and I was like, oh, this really isn't aligning for me anymore. And we had just finished like eating or something, and we were walking out, and he just kind of was like trotting along, wasn't even looking at me, and was just like, so are you gonna be my girlfriend or what? And I literally, bro, I was like, I'm being punked. And then let me add that he was so, I just think his pride was, or his ego and his pride were so hurt. He literally ignored me for 2 days straight after.
Because you obviously said no.
I said no after I was like, sorry, what, sir? I was like, no. And so, I was like, if you want to date me, you need to ask me in a way better sense, like a way better way, you know? I was just like
put some effort in.
Literally.
No throwing, oh, you want me my girlfriend?
And his response was, well, this isn't an engagement. And I was like, sir, part 2. And so, yeah, I mean, that doesn't scream emotional abuse, but that gives you a pretty good idea of how he treated me. And so I think looking back to that, and then now the guy I'm dating, literally making an effort to take me on such a wonderful date, got me a thoughtful gift, was looking into my eyes while we were sitting there having a conversation, and asked me, so special. There's a difference there.
Yeah, like night and day.
Yeah.
If you want to, you don't have to talk about this, but I'm just thinking of the time where you found out while he was talking to you, he was talking to another.
Oh yeah, we can
person.
get into this
Okay.
piping hot tea.
Yeah. What a crazy night.
Yeah,
because I was there, and she brought it up to you, if I remember correctly, and I was like, no. And just the devastation I saw on both your faces.
Yeah.
Like, he had been playing you both.
Yeah. No, crazy. Let's do it.
Because you saw a picture, right? Like, this is like a week before you were looking on Instagram, and she had posted a picture of them together.
Okay, yeah. So
okay,
here's
let's start
what happened.
there. Okay,
so
yeah.
I eventually was like, nah, I deserve better. And literally the next day, he is out with this girl, and I see it on her story, and I'm just like, oh, okay, he's already hanging with the girlies. But let me preface that a couple days before I ended it, like, her name popped up on his phone. And
I don't think I need this. Yeah.
Oh, I had his phone. I was looking up directions.
Maybe I did. I just don't remember. Yeah.
I had his phone and I was looking up directions, and I was like, oh, like, I didn't realize you two chatted. And he was just like, oh, yeah, like, for events, blah, blah, blah. Like, she'll ask me questions. So I was just like, oh, okay. Like, I'm not a girly who's going to check your phone. Like, you do you have your friends. Like, I trust. But my gut jabbed. Like, my gut does not lie.
Yeah.
My intuition was like, girl, something is off. And so ended it, saw the picture of them the next day, and I was like, oh, like, they had been chatting, chill, like, they're hanging out. And then come to realize, her and I kind of started hanging out with a mutual friend group, and I kind of knew they were talking, and I was like, whatever, like, she'll figure it out. She seems really cool. We start chatting, and so he gets brought up, and we're just kind of talking about timelines, and I was just like, and she was like, when did you guys end it? And I was like, oh, like, a week ago. And she was like, you're kidding. We've been texting paragraphs and hanging out for a month.
A month! The frick! So he, like, okay, I just want to bring back, like, we know he's a textbook narcissist, and he had you for his narcissist supply, and I feel like he was feeling in the waters, like, knowing you were probably gonna, like, dump his ass.
Yeah.
So he was looking for his next narcissistic supply, which obviously doesn't justify it, but just so, like, the people out there kind of know maybe his thought patterns as to why, like, he would talk to, like, lead two girls on at the same time.
Totally. And I mean, I don't care what the people say, that is cheating, in my opinion. Like, even though we were not boyfriend and girlfriend, he literally was texting her the same day he was asking me to date him.
The same day. For you to be his girlfriend. Yeah. Had texted her the same day. Yeah. Being like, hey, boo, like, how you doing? Hey, boo bear. Boo bear. I don't know what
gummy worm. So there's a lot. And I think, like, just to add, like, the impact this man has on people, very charismatic, very funny, very charming, and, like, just how we were talking about how you don't know what's going on behind closed doors.
No, because literally on the outside looking in, he looks like the coolest, most like, everybody wants to be his friend. Like, he'll walk around and be like, hey, what's up, good to see you, hey, what up, and just, like, talks to literally everyone and knows their names. Yeah. Because it's easier I feel like, to me, when I'm outside looking in, it's easier to hide what's going on when you set up that vibe that, like, what, he's nice to everyone, how totally. I could never believe that.
The loudest people are the most insecure on the inside.
100%.
Always.
Because, like, it was like, he literally gaslit you all the time. The amount of time, what were some of the things he would say? I can't even remember. It was
commenting on how much food I'd eat. Oh my
gosh, yeah.
When I brought, like I said before.
Let me just reiterate this. You have never any right to comment on anybody's body, period.
Never.
You don't know what they're going through. And half the time, especially when girlies lose weight, it's because they're, like, being abused, like, they're having a health problem, and everybody's like, oh my gosh, you look so skinny, what are you doing? I'm literally having the worst time of my life.
Yeah,
like,
totally.
Like, you have no idea, or the other way too, they're gaining a lot of weight, like,
that's a whole nother topic, but just don't comment on people's weight.
I'll bring you back.
But, like, just don't comment on people's weight. Oh, what have you been doing? What are you up to? You look so good. You've lost weight. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Like, just don't. Just say you look healthy if you really want to compliment on how someone's radiant self is doing, but never bring up someone's weight.
Mm-hmm. Were there any patterns or triggers that like maybe kept you in those situations longer?
Yeah, I think like a big pattern that I used to have was just like staying in situations out of fear. Like, because our brain is so okay with staying in a situation, even if it's not good for us or we know it's not good for us, it's okay, and it would rather do that knowing, oh, I'm going to get emotional abuse today, oh, I'm going to be gaslit today. It would prefer that over, I'm going to end this, but I have no idea what tomorrow is going to bring, because that's like so much scarier, you know?
Yeah, like the fear of something new.
Yeah, totally.
Was scarier than like the comfort of the chaos almost.
Yeah, definitely. And so that, I think that was just like a big pattern, was like I was aware of it, like I was staying out of fear, but like I was just so used to like staying out of fear that I was like, okay, I'm okay with this, even though I obviously wasn't. I wasn't doing well.
Yeah.
And I think just the pattern of like childhood trauma and other male figures in my life growing up, where I just was like used to that treatment. And so like I didn't believe that there was any better. I didn't know like what I could have, or like that I could actually count on men. That wasn't a belief I felt was possible to have at all.
So what changed? Like, was there a catalyst that was like, oh, this isn't what I deserve? Like, was there a moment, or just like, I don't know, an event, a specific event, or just like over time?
Yeah, I think it was just like, speaking of patterns, like having to like pick that multiple times, to the point where like I was finally in one of these relationships and like I wasn't eating, I wasn't sleeping, like I was crying every day, and I was like, this is not normal treatment when you're in a relationship. Like when you're in a partnership, you should feel uplifted. And I mean, like, it was really making me reflect on my friendships as well. And there were even a few friendships where I was having that same reaction, where I was like, I feel really off put, my gut does not feel good, but I was just like, but at least I know what I'm getting. And I got to the point where I just like was not doing well. My body was telling me like to get out, and just like comments were made or things were said to me. And I think I finally just got to the point where I just like was like, I cannot take this anymore. Like a cracking point, you know? I feel like we all have that, where it's like, I cannot handle being treated like this. Like, I want to eat food. I want to be in good health. Like, I want to not have these restless nights anymore. And so I think that was a big factor, was just finally being like, okay, am I going to keep living this lifestyle? Or am I going to, like, put myself first, even if it means being absolutely terrified of what comes the next day, because I don't know. Yeah.
Like you said to me many times, like the trust your gut, like I love how your body was like kind of knew before you did. I don't know.
Yeah, totally.
That's really cool that you're able to listen.
Yeah.
And to make that change, because it's not easy.
Yeah, no,
and
it's not.
I can imagine how terrifying that would be.
Yeah, it
be
was,
like, you were literally stepping to the unknown.
Totally.
Even though maybe in the back of your head you felt like, okay, no, this will be better because this life right now isn't what I want.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's amazing that you
Definitely.
were able to make that change.
Thank you. Yeah.
and get out.
Yeah.
So no, I admire your strength, like totally, because like, to leave everything you've ever known.
Yeah.
Really.
And it's so scary too, because like most of the time nobody knows what's going on behind closed doors. And so to leave that and have there be an unknown ahead of you, but to also not know who's going to be there to support you.
Oh, that's so interesting. Because well, like from what I remember, there was kind of like a circle of people that you would lose to.
Totally.
Which, of course, would make that way harder.
Yeah. And that's like the same for like, you know, some past friendships I've had as well, where it's just like, I know if I put myself first, like I'm going to lose the people that were connected to this friendship or this relationship. And it's like, it's a lonely journey. Like realistically, it is so much lonelier picking the hard path, because I mean, they're both hard though, to correct myself. Like choose your heart.
Yeah.
It's like, am I going to stay in this hard relationship where everything seems fine with a bow on it on the outside? When I come home, like, it's really not. Or am I going to choose hard where I'm absolutely lonely right now, or I'm lonely on this new path, but, like, everything's in front of me to choose from. Yeah. And it's so much more peaceful, you know?
Were other people's opinions, like, keeping you there longer, do you think? Or, like, were there other things keeping you there longer? Or were there other things that were like, no, I need to get out? Like, it's kind of both sides. Like, things helping you get out and things, like, prevent, like, keeping you there. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I think, like, funny enough, all the people in my life, and there's something I'm thinking of in specific, but all these other situations I've had where I've known I've been staying out of fear, the people in my life have literally been like, we're here to support you if you want to leave, this or that, like, this thing isn't for you anymore, it's not aligning. But
like, people were telling you that?
Yeah, okay. Like, in my life, right? So you think it'd be, like, easier to just be like, oh, peace out, like, I'm done with this situation. But it doesn't make it any easier because realistically it comes down to your decision. And so I think the thing keeping me there was just me. Like, the fear of, like, having to wake up and just have me the next day. Not have someone who, even if they're horrible to me, like, I still have someone the next day. And so I think that was just the scariest part. And so it was just, like, me against me,
Well, you did it.
Done it multiple times.
Were there things that, like, your loved ones did that really helped? Or were there things you wish they had done that would have helped you better?
Okay, yeah, I like that. I'll answer those separately. I think things they could have helped, like, or things that would have helped when I've been in those situations. And I mean, I feel like I have a wonderful support system. It's very small, but it's very high quality. And so I'm very thankful for that. But I think maybe just checking in more, because it's so scary to have to go to people and be like, I know that that I'm in a bad situation and I'm staying out of fear, but to just be like, here for you, like, whatever you need. Because when people are putting themselves in a bad situation, it's so easy for people to judge and be like, why are they staying there? Why are they doing this? But like, nobody knows what's going on and how hard it can be to get out of emotionally abusive situations, friendships, relationships.
Yeah, it seems almost worse because, like, nobody they see it, but not, maybe not the extent, behind closed doors, you have no idea.
Totally.
So, yeah, I can see how they could be very lonely. Yeah,
definitely. And so I think, that's just one thing, but I really had so much support. And, post ending those things, like, just having people to still check in, because it does become redundant. Like, that's something huge that you have to heal from. And so having people who are just like, I know this is the 100th time you've told me, but I'm here, I'm a safe space. Like, it will eventually become something in the past.
Yeah. I won't lie, it was so hard to see you in that situation.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I felt helpless. But I feel like as a friend, my advice would be to just be there. Like, try not to judge. Like, just be there and listen and be what they need, because, like, I'm sure you were getting it from everywhere else. Like, the judgment, why are you doing that? I'm sure you were getting it from everywhere else. Like, you didn't need it from me.
And I mean, to be so transparent, like, you were so kind. And I think I was just so on defense mode that anything would be brought up and I'd be, like, upset with you, you know? Because I'd be like, oh my gosh, why are you saying that? Even though inside I knew it was true. I knew I needed to leave. I just did not have the grit. I did not have the recognition of self-worth yet. And so, yeah, like, just know that, like, it's okay to feel the things you're feeling, because it is so hard to get out of. Like, this anger, this whatever else. Like, it wasn't about you, but it was directed at my close friends, because like, I knew they were right and I was, like, in denial. So
so what I could say is just be patient.
Totally.
I mean, because realistically, the only person who can get you out is you. Like, when it comes down to it, there really was nothing I could do.
Definitely. Which
is why I admire your strength so much, because, like, you literally got yourself out.
Thank you.
And I'm genuinely so proud of you.
We out here.
We out here living our dream. Trying to. So is there like, I don't know how to say it. I like ask this, like a phrase almost, or like a type of, like a text, like, hey, how's it going, I'm here for you, or like, would you rather them just like come up and talk to you? Like, was there a preferred method of communication, or just like you want it all?
I think everything's great. Something I've noticed though, like, because I just feel like the universe has put this pattern in my, like this pattern we're talking about so much. Like, because I genuinely feel that, like, you will be given the same lesson until you've learned what you need to. Mm-hmm. So from all these things I'm thinking of, these experiences I've had, I think what would have helped more than what people were doing was, like, not be avoidant. Because people would just, like, act like nothing was happening, or they'd, like, go talk to the other people and ask questions, and then I just kind of knew that things were being said behind my back. But just being, like, straightforward and be like, I heard, how are you? Mm-hmm. Like, just being more transparent, because I feel like if we lived in a more honest world, like, there would just be so much more genuine energy. Where it's not like you're talking to someone at surface level, and I'm like, I know you were talking behind my back last night, you know?
Like, why don't you just talk to me?
Yeah, right. Just being, like, more transparent and, like, just honest. Because I just feel like that would make things more lighthearted. And, like, even if it's a heavy topic, I know that I would have preferred people just being like, I've heard, I'm so sorry, like, if you need anything. Or just being like, how are you? And, like, because I know people want to know what happened. Like, come to me. Come to the source.
Come to the source. No, I feel like when it happened, and then just, like, everyone around, there was so many, like, straight up lies we heard about you. And I was like, excuse me?
Love a good smear campaign.
And I don't think, realistically, when you're dealing with a narcissist, because that's what they were, there's no getting around, like, the attack that will come from people who you thought you were friends. And that, honestly, to me, that was probably, like, the biggest shock. That I'm like, all these people are like, what? Just, like, went to, like, the injustice of it, like, fired me. I'm still mad about it half the time. Like, I literally couldn't get over how people just, like, so easily just believe the other person instead of talking to you.
Totally. I think it's easier to, like, go with the crowd, though.
I mean, true. I mean, people, and then we've talked about this too, just how, like, basically insecure people just, you know, will rather take the easy road. Like, when others don't know their worth. They're just like, oh, I want to know the tea, but, like, I'm just going to go where it's safe.
And it's, like, easy to justify people's actions when you're insecure. When you don't know your worth, it's, like you just said, it's easy to be like, oh, I'll just stick with them because the crowd seems bigger. So.
Because I'm safer in the crowd where I don't have to know my worth. And, and go against the grain, which is, like, frustrating, because people know what's right and wrong. And they just, you know, we're humans. I have to, you know, be forgiving. Maybe I'm working on it too, and I'm just like, you daft idiots. Like, I want to beat up every single one of you, even though I never would. You know me, I would never.
You're a real one.
Never been in a fight. Just raise my fist for those of you who can't see. I'm gonna holster that now and go on with the conversation.
A real one.
No, but this is great. I love that. We're tying it back to our worth here.
No, always.
Okay.
That's what it comes down to.
So I really want to know about, though, like, how you viewed your worth in the situation, and then, like, how do you feel about it now?
Okay. Yeah. Drastic difference. For sure.
Night and day.
For sure, yeah.
Okay.
No, I even identify, like, now how when I was, you know, the specific situation I'm thinking of, how I genuinely just, like, I knew I was great, but I had no idea what I was capable of. I definitely undermined my ability to put myself first.
I mean, I don't know why I'm surprised. I think because when on the outside looking in, like, you literally are the coolest person and just like charismatic, and people really like being around you and want to be around you. So like hearing that, and like I'm sure people think that about me too. It's just like, what? She deals with whatever depression, anxiety. Like people have no idea what's going on the inside. So I'm not like, I don't know. I'm just like a little. Sometimes I'm surprised. No, I get that we all have our moments, and you were definitely in a situation that was like, you know,
totally
adding to that, I guess, misplaced belief.
Yeah, totally. I mean, like, even the coolest are going to be vulnerable sometimes. And everyone has to learn. So I think that was one thing, was just I knew I was cool, but like I didn't realize what I was capable of. And so that's why I was putting everyone else in front of me. And I think of like all these different like friend groups I had and friends I was associated with, and like the more you know yourself, the smaller that circle's gonna get. Like the more you recognize your worth, because I think about now. So then it was just like kind of undermining myself, belittling myself, so that I could not take as much space up as I was belittling myself because I didn't feel like I deserved to take up space, which is like the simplest way to put it. And now, looking back, I'm just like, poor little Zion. Like, you know, it's been a year, and I'm just like, wow, like I do deserve to take up that space. I think that's the difference, is like, now I do deserve that space, because everyone does, and I think it's because I've done the work to recognize abundance, to recognize like more, or I've tried to put myself in more uplifting environments, and not that those like parties weren't fun, or like those huge groups of people weren't fun, but like when you are trying to put your worth first and take up space, it's intimidating. And so I think I've really recognized that like I'm allowed to take up space. I think that's the simplest way to put it. That makes a lot of sense. Like for me too, like that was taking up space was the phrase that really changed everything for me. Totally. Like, no, I deserve to be in this space, like just as much as they do. Like I think you've said this before too, where like I'm not gonna dim my light for others anymore. Right. And I think like taking up space looks different for everyone, but for me personally, when I was in that relationship or those friendships, like I wasn't being myself 100%. I wasn't being as loud or as funny or as hyper as I wanted to be, or I wasn't standing up for what I believed. Like if something like totally inappropriate or like rude was being said, I just kind of was like, oh, okay, you know, but like kind of the fear of speaking out maybe prevented you from or like I know for me too, it was like the fear of acceptance. Like I was just like, oh, if I say what I really think, like this is the thing that they're gonna hate me for. Exactly. Which is like, I totally get how whereas
scary
like
that is.
Now I've learned like, oh, when you are 100% yourself, or like you need to address something, or you need to talk to those people in your life, if they are meant to be in your life as the person you want to be, and the person who recognizes they deserve to take up space in the room, like they will be totally calm, they will be totally mature, it will be an equal conversation. Like there won't be any gaslighting, there won't be any like gossiping, you know, things like that. No, and I think true support systems will change with you. Like when I think of our friendship and how it's grown in so many ways, and how it really has evolved from just like, I don't know, almost like acquaintances to like really, really deep and meaningful relationship. Like you are a significant other to me, but like we've gone through a lot of stuff to to be that. And it's just like, I feel like I've changed so much, and I feel like you've changed so much, but I feel like we've both allowed each other the space to like have that growth, that personal growth, which is like so rare, especially in girly friendships, because I feel like oh, she's doing well, competition, you know, but like there's literally room for all the girlies to do as well as they want to do.
Like you said, abundance. I really like that you brought that up. Like there's room for everyone here. There's meant to be room.
Yeah.
For everyone.
Yeah, no, like
and the fact that others belittle each other and make them feel like they don't belong. Like remember this, peeps. Heard it here first. You belong effing everywhere. Wherever you want to be.
Exactly.
Take up your space, please.
Exactly. I second that so hard.
Yeah, okay. Well, what advice would you give to others in that situation? I'm in this situation. I'm dating some guy. He is gaslighting me. I'm sick to my stomach all the time. I'm crying all the time. But I know I need to get out, but I don't know what to do.
Yeah, okay. I think the first thing, looking back now, it was so hard for me to recognize this then, but remembering it is temporary. And you are in charge of your life. Like that is so hard to recognize when you're like, they're in control of this. And I think it's completely different when someone's in an abusive relationship or there's like way heavier stuff going on past, what we're referencing to something that you're possibly able to get out of. But I think if you are, to just remember this is temporary. And really starting to envision a life that you want. I think why I was stuck in those situations is because I had no idea what I wanted out of life. And I kind of just took what was given to me. And so just getting really clear and just recognizing that you deserve more. And I think a lot of that comes from self-love work, from abundance work, from healing trauma.
Sorry, what do you mean by abundance work?
Just like, specifically what I love to do is just manifestation work, journal prompts, visualizing, like to get more specific into those exercises. Those are things that have really helped me with abundance, to recognize that I deserve more. And so, I hope that's helpful. Like that's kind of what I think of though, because everything was just so foggy. Yeah. And taking a step back to recognize, why does my body feel this way? Yeah. Because our bodies are going to tell us before our brains do usually if something's off. Like that's what our intuition is for. Yeah. So maybe let me try and reiterate what you're trying to say. Yeah, yeah.
So like recognizing that you have the power is probably like step one. Yeah. To like you said, you're in control of your life, because I'm sure in that situation you feel really out of control. Yeah. But like, no, power's in you, babe. You got it. Yes, babe. So the power's in your control, and then to start with that worth work. So really figuring out what it is you actually want for your own life with no one else involved. Yeah. Keep everyone out of it and decide like what you really want for you, just for you.
Totally. And I think, I love what you say about keeping everyone else out of it, because it was so easy to like hear whispers here, hear words here. And so just really looking within. And it's so much, I just want to emphasize this, it is so much harder done than said. It's easier said than done. Yes. But it is possible. And I think that's like step 0.5 before 1 is recognizing, being aware of the situation you're in, and then telling yourself it is possible to get out, because it's really hard, but it is possible.
Yeah. No, thanks for saying that. I just want to reemphasize the point too, like emotional abuse is still abuse. Like it's almost even harder to get out because nobody sees your wounds. Totally. Your physical. Like if somebody hit you, they're like, everyone's like, get out. Yeah. You don't deserve that. But just because like nobody sees him being like, you're dumb, you're an idiot, like why aren't you listening to me? Like belittling you. If that's happening to you, like it is just as bad. Yeah. And very important. Like I hope that people feel like, what am I trying to say? Like, that is just as important. Like, no. Abuse is abuse, no matter what it looks like. That's what I'm trying to say.
I think a few other things that just came to mind are like confiding in friends you really trust in, because I know like I would come to you with some situations and just be like, I feel crazy. I must be in the wrong, right? And you were like, absolutely not. And I think like going to people who you feel are emotionally mature, who are aware, Because, you know, you can go to anyone and they'll give you any advice, but really going to people you trust and can confide in is super important.
Did you ever seek professional help at all? I don't recall.
Yes, I did. No, actually, no, not till after.
Not till after?
Yeah.
But was it helpful, though?
Yeah,
like,
no.
Seeking professional help?
Go to therapy. I love it.
Therapy's great. We love it.
Yeah, we do.
I'm going Thursday.
my mom's actually a therapist, and so she was like she's one of my best friends, and so when I would talk to her, like, it was easy for her to identify behaviors, but not everyone has that luxury.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, it is nice having a mom who's literally a therapist. She's so intelligent and can help, but yeah, I think, like, I wish I would have sought that earlier.
Yeah.
And I did when I did, because, you know, I was on the path I needed to be on, but it was amazing. And I really do love it. And I think I didn't for a long time because I felt if I went to therapy or if I sought out help, there was something wrong with me. But, like, there's nothing wrong with you. Like, it's actually helping you become the best version of yourself.
Oh, yeah. I genuinely believe everybody should go to therapy. I mean, because, I don't know, we all are human and we all need help sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, life's gonna get heavy, so go to therapy, please.
Yeah, do it.
Is there anything else you would recommend, like any other advice that you can think of?
No, I think just, like, also surrounding yourself with that uplifting environment. I also was not in the greatest environment while I was choosing to be with that person, and so it really all comes in a little bundle, you know? It's not just... It wasn't just, randomly picking this person who was emotionally abusing me. It was, like, the food I was eating, the people I was hanging out with, my habits. Like, it all is centered around worth. Like, how you feel about yourself is how you're going to show up in your day-to-day life.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So the last thing, what are you doing now to build your self-worth?
I think it's definitely... not easy. It's not easy. I'm just going to say that. Like, I think in the world we live in, where on social media everyone's like, self-care, wellness, lifestyle, it is not easy becoming a better person and choosing the higher road. Like, there are so many impulsive thoughts or hard days or times I just want to give up, but the hard, like what we said before, like, choose your hard. Like, you might as well just choose the hard that's going to make you become the best version of yourself. And so I think things now that have really helped me identify how much worth I hold are just, which is, like, endless, you know, priceless. You can't put a price on her, is doing a lot of self-love work. I think that's, like, number one is self-love work, like recognizing what I bring to the table, what I'm good at, like who I want to become. Yeah. That's a huge one. I think another thing is doing things I love that make me like, or help me feel like myself, if that makes sense. Yeah, yeah. You know, sports I love to do, tapping into art. Yeah. Yeah, just being with people who help me feel like I can be myself. Yeah, and so I think those are some really big things that have just helped me recognize my self-worth. And along with just projects, things I'm excited about, just becoming the best version of me. Because when I have been able to recognize my worth and have felt my best, I'm able to be my best for the people in my life, in my current relationship, for my doggo, for my family, you know? Like, it makes such a huge difference. When, like, you can tell a difference about how someone feels about themselves, you know? Yeah. Or, like, you can, how do I say this? Sorry, I'm, like, tripping over my words. But you can tell how someone feels about themselves, or, like, how much they recognize their worth by how they're treating others and how they're taking care of their lifestyle. Oh, very interesting. Yeah. So, that's a big thing. I think that's very true. Yeah. Yeah. So, those are just big things that have helped me. But before everything outward, it always comes down to, like, what am I doing every day to recognize how wonderful I am, or how I feel about myself, building my relationship with myself. So if you could pick, like, one small thing they could start with, like the smallest one thing that
maybe like worked for you.
Yeah. Super uncomfortable at first, but affirmations in the mirror.
Yeah.
So big.
No, you got me doing that.
Yeah, no, I love it so much. Like, at first I would just like read things and be like, I am beautiful. And I'd be like, oh gosh, that was so weird. Oh, I made eye contact with myself. But I think like the more you do it, the more you feel empowered, and you're like, oh, like I've got me. Like, it is so great if someone tells me I look beautiful today, but I just said it to myself, you know?
Yeah, it's very powerful when it's coming from you and you actually believe it.
Totally.
When you start to believe it, like, yeah. I don't know if you notice a change in me over time, like in my, I don't know, me recognizing my worth.
Yeah.
Because I definitely did for you too.
Oh, I definitely have noticed, yeah. And I think, like, for anyone, like, you're just more grounded, like, conversations are I noticed this just between us, like, just conversations have always been great, but just more enlightening, like more educational. We can talk about our goals and our dreams and really like look forward, which is so cool.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Okay, well, I think that's all I have.
Cool.
The last minute, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
I appreciate you being here. Like, this has been so great and so fun, and I just, like, yeah, thank you.
No, I just think it's amazing what you're doing here. Like, I just love listening to your stuff. You're changing my life. I know you're changing other people's lives, and, like, there's no one...
Sorry. No, I accept it. Accept compliments.
Get your little tear out there.
I genuinely thought an eyelash was falling off. I was like, oh my gosh, was it broken the whole time?
No, it's amazing. And everyone's talking about something, but, like, your voice needs to be heard and should be. So thank you.
Oh, thank you. That's so kind. Well, I love you. Thanks so much for coming on this.
I love you too.
And if you guys want to, like, I don't know, ask Zion more questions, or, like, share maybe your experience with her, you can find her at...
Oh, yeah. I don't even know
what's your handle.
I literally don't know.
Yeah, if you want to reach out, maybe ask her some questions, I'm sure she'd love to hear.
Yeah, I've got things in the works. My Instagram's ZionNelson_. So
yeah, I'm excited. This girl is going places. Totally. I know.
Same to you.
Thank you. Okay. So, if no one's told you today, you can do it. Believe in yourself. Love you so much. And don't forget to trust your worth. Okay, bye.
Bye. That was so